I would like to share something with you. There was once this millionaire. Then one day, over a period, he has a lot of aches all over his body. He tried very hard to fix it. But he tried all the doctors and everything, he just couldn't get it fixed. Finally, he went to see a monk. He got the monk to see him, actually. So the monk came to see him and analyze him and say that, you have to look at something green. Everything you see must be in green. So it will help you cure your illness. Say, okay. So what he did was that he got all his people, because he's actually a billionaire. So he get barrels of green paint and paint everything green in his house and everywhere he go. Make sure he see it green. So one day, the monk, being a responsible person, went back to see him, want to see the billionaire, see how is he doing. So he walked in. Once he walked into the place, what happens is that all the servants came to him and take green paint and pour onto the monk. So the whole monk in his robe and everything turned all green. He said, why are you doing this? Oh, that's the instruction from you. Our boss can only see something green. Then the monk was like, alamak. He went and see the thing. He said that, dear Mr. So-and-so, actually what you need to do is you start spend a little bit of money and put on the glasses with a green lens. Everything become green. And you see how much money it can save you, in painting everything green and also causing the inconvenience of all the rest of people around us. What has this got to do with productivity? I can't change the world. I realize I cannot change the government policy. We have the best government, I must say. I do have a lot of complaints, but I can't change the government policy. I can't change the economy. I can't change many things. But I believe that I can change myself. So I decided, instead of changing the world, I decided to put on my own glasses and I see the world in whichever color I choose to be. So that's one thing I personally find very effective for the productivity. And I can change myself. I can't change the rest. Okay, this is my sharing. Okay, I think it's good I give you a brief profile of what we do. We don't make the undergarments or the bird's nest or the IT. We make the boxes to package this product. And next, we also in label stickers, so we will make stickers to package the product. So this is packaging part. And we also do books and brochures catalog. Our company was started in 1965, and at this moment, we have 102 committed people. Our people are really committed. Even when I'm not around, they all the way. Okay, then because our business is quite tough, so we have to transform. So early this year, we launched a B2C brand where we help people preserve the memory. So digital photo upload on the website. We print out very nice books. So that's our business. And in July, we also launched a new service because we feel that printing is part of communication. So we launched a one-to-one personalized marketing services where it's got to do with database, email, personalized URL, mailer, and dashboard. And latest is we go into personalized gifts. So every gift will be personalized. So you see all the different names that we can do. So these are our businesses. Okay. I just want to share my experience, and I'm still learning every day. Still want to read a lot, and so I don't want to claim that I'm an expert. So I'm just sharing my experience. Okay, our IGP experience. Okay, if you were to say one of the most, I would say the best employer around, I must say is E2I. I don't know how Gilbert does it. All the staff I deal with, they are all very passionate. They are very, very helpful. So my experience has been very, very good, just like Benny's one. It's quite easy. I think this one very helpful. And I think somehow they have this passion. They really want to help us. So I think this is very, very important. I must learn from Gilbert how he trained his people and how he's hire and retain them. And it's been very beneficial for us. Okay, I want to share with you 5 hard lessons we learned and some of our practices that we do. So we have 2 projects. One is an automated die cutting machine, and one is a servo label printing machine. Very, very technical, but I think there are some things that we can learn also perhaps the service can also pick up. Okay, the result, we actually reduce a lot of our setup time and also reduce the wastage. So it became quite productive. And the benefit is that we have much shorter lead time instead of last time we take much longer. So the lead time become a lot shorter and gives us a lot of flexibility. For example, last time we need to produce in one big batch, so big quantity. Later now we can produce in much shorter batches, so we can take out that means stop the production, change to a different product, so we can respond to our customer faster. And it helps to lower our business costs. Okay, lesson number one. As much as you like, technology is not a magic pill for us. We realize that there's no such thing as you eat one pill. We all wish that, but it doesn't happen. Our normal practice is what? We have our supplier coming to us. Hey, you buy this machine, you can get a PIC claim, or you buy this, you can have a lot of this. Then we listen, okay, maybe it sounds good. So then we check, I think also government tell us must be productive. So we think of, hey, find ways of find machines and to do something. And then after that, got money, no? Got money, can. We all go. Then what's the next step? Then we put out a big Excel sheet. Then we compare all the different options and see which one have what features and things like that. That was what we were doing last time. Later we realized it was not necessarily the best. It may appear to be better, but not necessarily the best. So what I learned if I were to do it again is that I think we must start with the strategy first. Because what happened a lot of time, hopefully no supplier here, but they come to see us and say, hey, do you know something? Your competitor is doing this thing and they are buying this machine. Don't you want to buy also? Then we all blah, listen, and we go. And then everybody do the same thing. Then what happened? Hey, buy this machine faster, no? Then you can lower your cost. Then everybody buy, everybody's cost lower. Jialat. So come back to the square one. Then everybody compete on price. So we learned that, I learned that we have to decide the strategy. So blue ocean strategy, there's what pest analysis and all those things. But I'm not sure how familiar you are, but I find that there's, okay, this one I find useful. It was by A-Star, part of the ICV voucher. I don't get commission. A-Star, they have this thing called OTR. So our company went for this, and this is our management team. So we end up with this big chart of all the things. It was a good process. We find it's a good process. Of course, there are many processes. No commission for me, but I find it useful. If you like, you don't need to know this, but the process help us do that. Okay, that's second one. People is the key, whether we like it or not. And you know what? You love them, and sometimes you feel like strangling them. People are resistant to change. So am I. I'm also resistant to change. So if you ask me morning, wake up, I must do certain steps. You know, I can't change the step. I button my shirt, I got the button top down, some people button bottom up, put on left shoe or right shoe first. Though we are all resistant to change, we come with a certain thing. And you know, there's this term we call 企业, which, you know, enterprise, right? Take out the people, what will happen? It actually means stop. So it means that enterprise without people is, it will cease. So I think this one works. So I find that the other lesson I learned is that I have to start with the people. So before I buy the technology, I must make sure I have the people there so that it helps me make it better. And government is promoting a lot of training. And we say that, hey, you buy the machine, you go training, done deal, done. We bought a software, that one is funded by IDA last time. Interesting is that I have an officer, the software costs us about 300 over thousand. So I spend money, we send our guys for training. Guess what? 1 year later, I don't see the result. We only use 10% of the software. Wow, big check. Wow. So training is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. And after that, we have to keep going after and after, you know, the people and some that comes to the next thing. And it's that it takes longer than expected, technology. Whether we like it or not, it takes longer than expected. So sometimes I but we have to persevere on, cannot give up, must press on. And this one, we must measure and track the progress. So the software, okay, what happened was that I didn't see anything happen after a year. It was good for our own people, it was good for our customer, right? And then we have it. So why not use it? But people just don't move, no? In the end, finally, we say that, hey, who owns this? Okay, what is the KPI? What is the thing that it will look like when we are successful? So we ask this question. Then only when we ask that, then we put out the KPI. Then everybody is saying, who's under? So this one is, okay, implemented by our technology department, IT department, right? Then, but it's the customer service who will use it to deal with the customer. So we have this system, is called online approval. So instead of, in print, right? So we attach it to the email, send the email to customer come back, send all over to and fro. So what our system does is we post it online. So everybody get to see the whole thing, and then there's tracking, you have all the comments. So it sounds very good in theory, fantastic. But then who is going to push? Then the customer service will tell customer say, give all sort of reason. Then all those things, there are many things. Until we decide, hey, we want how many customer by when. Then every week we measure. How is it? Why is it not moving? Why is it not moving? Then the design will also push this. Then you start seeing results. So we find measurement is very, very important. So now we track and measure every single thing. Even customer service level, customer satisfaction, employee engagement, everything. We find that you have to measure everything. Easier said than done, but it's something worth doing. And it's a journey. We find that it's not something that you go. And this thing is, I would say, a marathon without finishing line. You finish crossing the hurdle, then you see the next one, and the next one, and next one. And I find that it's also important to look at what we have now instead of just going after new technology, because it's not a magic pill. Okay, practice number one, we invest in lean manufacturing. So I myself studied quite a fair bit of Toyota production system. And this, what we realized that it's not only for manufacturing. In fact, one of the department that benefit the most is actually the customer service. Because somehow our customer service go through, our order process is quite complicated. For every job that come in, it has to go through at least 10 pair of hands, at least. So, and customer service is the one that pull the whole thing together. So we find lean manufacturing, even the word, maybe we should change the way lean manufacturing. It should be lean process. And it deals with, actually customer service process has a lot to do with it. When we go through each process, right, what are the steps and cut down? We realize that we are doing so many silly steps. And one of the terms we learn is what we call permanent bandage. Sometimes when we have a cut, right, we stick a plaster. But the plaster stay on forever, Like lately, we just share with you one of our job that come in. So we are go through a long process. Then we put in a new machine, so it helps. But then when we put in a new machine for another process, right, nobody think about it to do that. Then we keep doing the same thing over and over again until, sad to say, one of the customer service tender, because this process takes so long. Then I say, hey, why? I go and discover, hey, we already have the new machine. How come we didn't think about that? It's a very simple thing. No? So we realize that, just now, back to the technology adoption, it's a journey. We have to keep reviewing our process because things change. So don't have a permanent bandage, what we learn. Measuring everything, this one is now what we go by. And I become very loso. And that is something I also learned. This brand called Ribbons, right? Run by Samuel Lim. He also shared with me that he repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Every meeting he say the same thing. Then I realized I also have to do the same thing. And people just can't get into their head, no. Somehow, just cannot get in. Then later, sometimes I get very frustrated. Then I look at myself. Actually, I also behave the same way. Many things I keep telling myself I need to change. Every morning I need to do the planning, but sometimes I just go dive into when the emails start coming in. So I get lost. So I say, okay, I'm also the same thing. So I keep talking to myself over and over again. So I keep talking to my people. So when I get frustrated, I say, you're also the same. So make sure you change yourself. You just got to lead. Very tiring, but it's worth it. Technology help. But you've asked me, my most productive tool is this piece of whiteboard that costs us less than $1,000. I think it's $800. What we did was that we put up, okay, this picture didn't show mine. My name is also there on the other side. So we put up our KPI on a big board. Everybody see everybody's KPI. Everybody sees everybody's quarterly priority. Everybody see everybody's challenges. Most productive tool I had. What happened is that when a lot of things came out, one of them is less department conflict, because people see, sales and production sometimes cannot get along. They say you do this, and finance and marketing cannot get along. But later, when they know what each others are doing, they say, hey, transparent. Oh, I didn't know you have that problem. Oh, okay. Now they have a better understanding. Then every week we measure and measure and measure. So the next thing we are changing is continuous improvement. So our next chart will come out that we have a traffic light system. So we have a red, green, of course yellow is in between, right? Then black will become better than green. So that's next thing we want to do. Because we want to do a 2-second rule. That means one shot you see, you can tell the difference. So that's one thing we do that we find useful. And make it fun. We find that, like, for example, that's the benefit of printing companies. So we can make all these funny things. We make it fun, like horse racing. And then one thing also, our guys, we make our people report their own progress. Because because you prepare a thing for them, they say, hey, my Excel got problem. Oh, supervisor didn't pass me the numbers. Or who, all the excuse, all the dance start coming out. Now we tell them, you report your own number. You go and find your own number. So we help them, we train them. But we find this very, very useful. And then, last but not least, we try to celebrate as much as we can. Not easy to do because we didn't grow up that way. So we tend to catch people doing something wrong. But now we try to see how can we catch people doing something right. Not easy, so we do all the funny things. We put bells. Every time something do well, then we ring the bell. Everybody clap, that kind of thing. Sound a bit kiddish, but the senior guy come in. It takes a while, but I got to keep doing over and over and say, celebrate, celebrate, celebrate as much as possible. So it's useful. Okay, just share with you my personal best books. I find this one very good. I learned a lot from Vern Harnish. Also no commission from him. In fact, he's coming Singapore next week. I find this book very, very good. Vern Harnish. And then the other one is Toyota Way, and it's also useful for manufacturing as well as service. I find it because it helps for my other new business where it's more service oriented as well. George Bernard Shaw, I like what he say. If we exchange an apple, each of us only have one. But if we exchange the idea, we go away with two. So I don't proclaim to be an expert. I just share my experience, and I want to learn every day. Please, if you have any idea, please share with me. And thank you very much. Thank you.